Okay, welcome back. We're on the Sea King again, and we're in Cumbria on a hospital helipad. We're going to go flying. The weather is very, very changeable and very grotty today. So let's get ourselves seated comfortably, and then we'll begin. Position. Let's get our map, our GPS map. It's always better to have our GPS map. Stop us from getting lost. Everybody uses GPS these days. I try not to, but when the weather's like this, I definitely use it. Okay, so this is where we came from. This is Cark Airport. So we're going to go back there, I think. Where else can we go? That was Carlisle. We came from Carlisle this morning, went to Cark, came back to the hospital. Zoom out a bit. There's not much else we can do actually. I wanted to go into the Lake District itself. Clouds. It was very, very low and nasty. And lose visibility of the ground, and there's a lot of cloud over to the east, but look, it's looking clear on this because this gives cloud and stuff. So we'll head south. We'll see how far we get, and if we have to turn around and come back, we'll go back to Cark. But if we can get through the Lake District, we'll go down to Cark, which is there, Grange-over-Sands, Cark EG15. We used to do a lot of parachuting there. Cark is parachute club, an alternative parachute club that we used to use. So, okay, we'll zoom the map in. Let's go due south and see how far we get. Because you don't know if you don't try it. What's the phrase? Who dares wins. Sure, people like Paz 49, who was in the SAS, wasn't he? So he said, what a waltz in this. He was in nothing he saw. Right, let's go. This looking good. That's the hospital behind us. We can pull the wheels up. Yeah, I was talking to Paz, ex-British or something, ex-British person, and I said, what regiment were you in? And he goes, always in the Paras and the SAS. And I thought, here we go, another alternity. And I stopped speaking to him. Oh, what's that? Cottage. Just seen something interesting. So there we go, castle. This must be Carlisle one, is it? Wow, that's impressive, isn't it? It's either a castle or a prison, I'm not sure which. Probably both in its time. Looks more castleified, doesn't it? Right, where was that? Going south. talking about Walter Mitty. Oh yeah, Walter Mitty. More about him later. Let's get ourselves set up now. Southerly heading. The world's full of Walter Mittys. Anyone who says I was in the SAS. Bullshit. In the SAS. And he's one of these people who, no matter what you say to him, you twist your words and throw them back in your face like you said something different. Every time. He's horrible. A horrible, horrible individual. Anyway, he doesn't say much on his YouTube channel. He keeps it quite straight. But he's, I reckon he's got a troll channel on Twitter and he joins in with the trolls on there, saying offensive and horrible things. That's what Twitter is, isn't it? It's a sewer where all the sewer rats can go and puke their bile. I don't know if he's there or not. Probably is. Who cares? The only troll I was interested in was Atalanta Barcadia. Right, well, I'm looking at the Lake District up ahead now, and I've got more visibility than I thought I would have. Even so, how far we're going to get. We'll try and get to Cark. If we can't, we'll go back to Kirkby. It's not a problem. Was saying about me, he said I was a Walt. Oh, okay. But what did I Walt about? I was in the army, I was in for 3 years, and was a zero. Nobody, didn't go anywhere, didn't get any medals, wasn't in any wars. So it's not really something to boast about, is it? I mean, at least Paz claimed to have been in the SAS, which is a bit better than claiming to do nothing and go nowhere, isn't it? Oh dear. I did have an old Facebook page. I don't use Facebook. I've still got the Facebook account. And, he's obviously been trolling me, hasn't he, on the internet, searching all the things. And, when it goes to your bio, it asks you all those stupid questions. Which university did you go to? What was your this? What was your that? What was your that? I did put. I was in the Women's Royal Auxiliary Balloon Corps. Captain in the British Army. I did put that. That was a joke. That was from... there's any Blackadder fans out there. You remember Captain Darwin? And he wasn't captain of the British Army either. He was an actor. Anyway, that's the only reference he's got to me being a Walter Mitty. And he won't tell you that I said I claimed to be in the Women's Royal Auxiliary Balloon Corps. Just as a Walter Mitty because that's the way they twist things, these trolls. That's the way they do it. Classic troll. But like I say, he's quite well behaved on his YouTube channel. He doesn't say anything too derogatory. Not that I could sue him because he lives in a bedsit. So there's no point in suing someone with no one, is there? Not that I'd sue him anyway. Calling me names. I got over that when I was in the playground in the junior school. Miss, he's calling me names. Stop it, Dylan. Stop calling him names. Yes, miss. And then he pulled his tongues behind the teacher's back. Yeah. I gave all that up when I was 12. Here we are. Back on Southern Brixton. Looks like we're doing okay actually weather-wise. Looks like the low cloud is not that bad at all. One of the things is when you're talking to people on the internet, I mean, you might become friends with people and you might think, oh, he's alright, yeah, that's great. But you might not be alright. You might not be alright at all. See, you know, some people, I've made some good friends on the internet who I've never ever met, and I've met some good friends on the internet who I have met and I'm still friends with. So, you know, you put in your trust in people, because, you know, people have met people on the internet and become friends, and then they've deeply regretted it later. Because you think, oh, I've just made friends with a real wronging, a real horrible individual. And it can happen. For sure. Okay, so we're still travelling south. We're coming into the Lake District area now. The flat bit is going away, and we're going into the hilly bit again. That's the best way to put it. Filled the helicopter up with fuel this morning, so we've got about 3.5 hours range flying time, which is loads. It is more challenging to fly in real time on weather, for sure. Quick look outside, there's our helicopter. I'm not very good from flying outside. I tend to crash if I'm not careful. All gets away from me. You have to be in the cockpit and just trimming it in. It's trimmed in properly, you should be able to take your hand off the joystick. It carries on in a straight line. But helicopters are notoriously unstable things, and they're constantly changing the trim all the time. But this is a really, really good helicopter. I mean, you'd have to be a million to own this. You know, for pleasure purposes. I dare say Dylan will be going, you're not a real helicopter pilot. You're not really flying a Sea King. Well, no, I'm not, Dylan. It's a flight simulator. It's a free download. I'm seeing it all in 3D, so for me it's real enough. It's real enough. And I've got to navigate it and use the controls. So it's good enough for me. But if you want to pay for my flying in the real world, you know, be my guest. I don't think you've got enough money though, have you? If you did have any money, you'd be down the bookies, wouldn't you? More about him later. Right, now we've got to decide where to go next, because we're coming up to another hill, a bit of high ground. So we've got to decide whether to go over it or round it. And I'm looking for, there's most lake there, so I think I'll go round to the left and track down that lake. Is that Derwent water, I think. Derwent's the nicest, I think, of all the lakes. And I think that might be Derwent water, so we'll go that way. It's not can't remember. I should have looked it up on a map before we set off, but I didn't. There's Windermere is the biggest. There's Coniston. I think that might be Derwent actually. So if we go that way, let's go around this hill that way and then we should cross that. I think that one's Derwent. Not sure without consulting the map. The Windermere is the biggest, the longest, the most famous. Although Coniston is the straightest, and that's the one they used for the Bluebird, the speed trials. Oh, the weather's got a lot clearer. That's a turn up for the box. Right, let's go round this hill to the right. Oh yeah, Dylan claims to be an intellectual. Intellectual, eh? It was in the infantry, he was a grunt in the army, that's his claim to fame. The grunt. That doesn't mean you're not intelligent. I mean, if he was an intellectual, surely he would have been an officer. Did he ever make acting Lance Corporal? I don't know. I have got a real pilot's licence, so I am an aeroplane captain, and I've been working as a commercial boat captain for about 15 years, so I am entitled to call myself captain. I was never, I repeat, never a captain in the army. Okay. I hated the army, and I left the army as quickly as possible. After having done nothing and been nowhere. If you class the Isle of Man, not the Isle of Man, the Isle of Wight as abroad, then I've been abroad. But other than that, been nowhere, done nothing. Right. That's my claim to fame, and that makes me a Walter Mitty. So at least I never claimed to be in the SAS, like you, Dylan, did I? Oh, but I was only joking. Where are you, Dylan? Were you really? Maybe you were? Because it's changed, hasn't it? The story's changed now. It's in the Welsh Guards or something. Is it the Guards? Royal Regiment of Wales, something like that. Welsh something or other. When was it Wales was conquered by the English? Wasn't it Edward I, Longshanks? And he built all those English castles in Wales to keep the Welsh down. I don't know, you'd have to remind me about the history of Wales. It's a long time ago, it had to be in the 1200s. So there was a Prince of Wales, wasn't there? And didn't Longshanks have him killed or something? That's why today the heir to the English throne is called the Prince of Wales, just to remind the Welsh that they were conquered and under the thumb of the English. Which is, lots of Welsh people know that, and they're not happy about that. But you know, will Wales ever be independent again? Will it ever get its own royal family back? It's extremely unlikely, isn't it? Right, well now we're in a dilemma, because we seem to be in a bit of a crater. I want to go off to my left because I want to see Derwent, I think it's Derwent water. According to my map, it's on the other side of that hill. So it's going nowhere that way, so we're forced to climb up really and hop over the top. And if we had low cloud and miserable rain and things, we'd be stuck, couldn't we? Dead ahead on the other side. Let's slip over there with this one. As we climb, we lose speed. You see, we have to lift the collective up. Hill climbing can be quite dangerous in helicopters. If one's not careful, we really need to go over this peak. That is super cool. That is super cool in 3D, I can assure you. Right, we can descend now, lower the lever, raise the nose, and descend into the valley and take a look. This one, I'm pretty sure this is Derwent. I could be wrong. It's been over 25, probably 30 years ago since I was here. But I did think at the time this was the nicest of the lakes. All the tourists go to Windermere, you see. The chap who wrote about the wandered lonely as a cloud and the dancing of the daffodils and all that, he was here. This is the yeah, I'm pretty sure this is it. It was him. What was it called? Was it Words? I can't remember. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that he was here at Derwent Water. Right, we'll carry on further south now. We've had a little look. I can do that again. I can make a whole video about that one though. You can fly all around. That'll be fun. Right, let's use the valley to climb out because we want to go south, which is the way we're heading. The sun's always in the south. In the UK, especially in the winter. It rises in the east and it sets in the west, but it's always the south. Okay, southwest, south, southeast. So if you look for the sun, that way is south. That's why they say the moss grows on a tree on the north side, because the north side never gets any sun. And artists always went for north-facing rooms, didn't they, so that the light wasn't too harsh. I mean, Dylan being an intellectual, he'd know all about that, wouldn't he? Intellectual stuff, Greek mythology. Isn't that what intellectuals do? They go and read books about being intellectual. And go to operas and do Shakespeare, things like that. Well done, Dylan, well done. You should be on Mastermind instead of the betting shop. Right, I need to get my 1D thing and update the map. I need to move the map up a bit. So I'm going to find my way to Cark, Grange-over-Sands. Ah, there we go, we've got Windermere really off to our right. So we'll weave down this valley. Take a look. Should we take a look at Windermere? It's a bit out of the way. Could do. Yeah, because I'm going here. I'm going to Grange-over-Sands, so I could pop it over and have a look at Windermere. Yeah, let's do that. Let's have a look at Windermere. Let's go over this hill. Well, we're nearly at the end of it. Just raise the collector a little bit. Push the nose down. Climb over this hill. We'll go west now until we intersect the lake, and then we'll go south to Grange-over-Sands. Lower the collector a little bit now. There we are. See, that thing looks like a handbrake. That's called the collective, and when you lift it, all the blades increases the pitch or decreases the pitch on all the blades. It's called the collective. Okay, so it's the up and down lever. You lift it up to go up, you lower it down to go down, and then you need to trim. And then southwest. Yeah, we'll still intersect the lake southwest, but let's go west because we'll see more of it. This is the main lake that the tourists come. Let's go to Windermere. Go to the Lake District. Now the troll that I'm very interested in is not Dylan, it's Atalanta of Arcadia, who I know for a fact Dylan is friends with. Atalanta of Arcadia is the troll that took down Yankee Wally and started on Trevor Colt. And I want to find out who it is. Could be more than one person. I thought it was a woman originally, but you could have, you know, a ring of people operating one troll account, or several troll accounts. Very difficult, very difficult. And they're horrible, vile individuals who hide behind anonymity. And the last thing that these people want is to be exposed. Shine a light on them and say, that's you, you are that troll. Oh, that's not what they want. It's not what they want to hear. Because all their power's gone. So the only power they have is anonymity. And people get picked on by anonymous trolls all the time. It happens. But some people are weak and they commit suicide as a result of being trolled. So I think it's important to try and hunt these people down and expose them. But you've got to be careful you don't expose the wrong person, because that would not be good. You have to be sure of your facts. This is why it's a difficult thing. You have to trick them out into the open and wait for them to make mistakes. Dylan's not a troll. Well, he might have a few troll accounts, but I'm not interested in Dylan really. He's just a waltzy messy nobody. He lives in a bedsit. He's got a bad gambling habit, and his wife and kids have left him. I mean, that's very sad. I feel sorry for him. That's it. I do genuinely. I pity him in his dilemma, but only he can help himself to get out of that situation. There's a lot of people got gambling habits. It's very sad, and it's big business gambling. Here in Gibraltar we've got online gaming companies that give people credit accounts and you can just gamble online now. And it's got some sort of tax status in Gibraltar, so it attracts gamblers to it. It's another reason the EU were trying to clamp down, and another reason people wanted to vote to leave the EU was because they wanted to carry on with their dodgy, not illegal, but dodgy businesses, tax evasion, tax havens. British are notorious for it. And the EU felt that it was not fair and that they should pay tax like everyone else. And all these rich people hiding their money financed vote leave, and all the little people caught up in a wave of nationalism to their cost, really. Anyway, I don't do politics on my channel. I just talk about stuff. I'm not supporting any political party. Okay? I don't do politics on my channel. Right, dead ahead we've got Grange-over-Sands. Most of our parachuting days we were at a place called Cark Airport Grange-over-Sands, which was the Black Knights Parachute Centre, and that was in Lancashire. But across the bay of Morecambe Bay here in Cumbria, there was the Northwest Parachute Centre, I think it was called, and a guy there called Dave Pringy, and he had a beaten up old Islander. I mean, I'm going back to the early 90s here. Late 80s I started parachute jumping, so how long ago was that? 30 years ago. He's probably dead now. Club's there. I know the Black Knights Parachute Club's still there, although the people that owned it then are dead. They've long since sold it. I think there might be a couple of them still alive, but they've long since sold out. So the people that own it now are just completely different people. Life moves on. It does. Okay, come on to south now. I had a few goes flying Prinzy's Islander. It was it was the most beaten up, awful. In fact, if you look at my channel, I've got a jump on Southport Beach. That was Prinzy's Highlander. It was the most awful Highlander in existence. I mean, everything was stripped out, and when things broke, he took them off and threw them away. He didn't replace them. It was just an empty fuselage that parachutists got in and out every day when it was flying and jumping, and it was just so beaten up. I mean, it was legal, of course it was. Just bare minimum legal, we're talking. But it did its job. It did its job really well. And we used to get 10,000 feet, 12,000 feet over Cark. Whereas at the Black Nights, we'd struggle to get more than 10,000 feet. So those extra few seconds, I don't know if they were worth an extra hour's drive to get here. So you've got more conveyor ahead of us. You've got to go right over there to go south again to be more or less in front of us here. So it was a long drive up to Cark, but we did it. Right, here we go. This is it. This is Cark. This is Grange-over-Sands, and we're talking about this. Put a description in there. Again, it's a Second World War base used by Coastal Command. They had like Catalinas, flying boats and things here, and they used to do long-range patrols out over the western approaches, because a lot of the convoys came into Liverpool, so they'd be looking for U-boats and stuff like that. And of course, once the war's over, they're not going to maintain very expensive airfields like this, and they just rot away, don't they? They probably commandeered the land during the war anyway, and then they give the place back to whoever they commandeered it from, and it just falls, because nobody's going to spend a fortune maintaining it. Now, if you look closely, there is one of the runways has got a little maintained strip on it. And that was it. That was the runway that we used, and the parachute centre was right there. It's marked on the map, so you come staging in like this with a helicopter, you could potentially be dangerous if the parachute is dropping from 10,000 feet onto this drop zone. Some air that comes along with the helicopter just flies through the drop zone. That's potentially a dangerous situation, isn't it? You can see the old perimeter track there, and all the way around. I mean, it's well presented in Flight Simulator. You know, that is what it's like. But again, I haven't been here for 30 years, so and there's a big caravan park right next to it. A friend of mine used to have a caravan, a couple of caravans there, and we used to stay there. So we could do the whole weekend parachuting in. Okay, we'll drop the wheels because this is our destination. I don't know if they still parachute here, but it was called the Northwest Parachute Centre as far as I can remember. So it's probably got new ownership now, and might still be in existence, it might not, but there was an old control tower. They came over flat packed, I think, from America, so they all look the same when they erected them during the war, and it was proper beaten up, tatty thing. It was really, really knackered old control tower. Used to use it as a bunkhouse, people used to stay there. This is it. See the big X on the ground, that's where the parachute is sort of aimed for. And then you to reel your parachute in and walk back to the packing shed. Let's have a look over here, let's have a look inside of that. I don't recognise any of this. We came round that perimeter track, and where the caravans are, that was the car park, and so there were a few buildings here. But yeah, I don't recognise any of this. Does that say Paris? Bit of a tailwind here. Express. But there was, I remember, a really tatty old control tower from the war. Brakes on. There we go. Welcome to Cark, Grange-over-Sands. Old World War II base, which is at the bottom of Cumbria, and the sea out there, that's Morecambe Bay, in case you're looking it up on the map. Thanks for watching.